Hey, so thanks for taking over the class. I know it's a lot to ask um, mid-semester, and especially if you don't have a background in this. So it might feel a little bit daunting. I hope that I can be of good support so you feel comfortable taking over the class. So I'll walk you some of the features and just give you some background. I won't go too in depth because I don't want to overwhelm you, but just kind of do some of the highlights and everything along the story. So the first thing that kids are going to live on and that you should have access to is their classroom for fifth period, Avid fifth period. So you have access to this. All their classwork will live here, and important links will be here. This is a link to Replit, which is where they'll do their coding, but all their other assignments and slides for how to complete things live within this. So the way the lessons work is they start with a do now. After they finish their do now, they begin the slides. So they'll open up the slides, and then as they go through the slides tell them what the assignment's about, what they'll do, etc. And it's just a bit of a load. So by the end of this first assignment, they will have created a boilerplate, and this is what it looks like. I will be making exemplars, and you'll have access to actually see my exemplars, and I'll show you where to look at in a second. So in a second, and you'll be able to compare what the students look like to what it should look like, and that way, if there's errors, you can identify them and kick it back out. I'll also help with grading, but eventually I'll start pulling off the reins to let you do that. So, anyways, this is where their assignments live. And again, it literally walks them step by step on how to complete this first assignment. After they finish their assignment, they'll open up an exit ticket. The exit tickets, all the answers are within the slide. They'll make sure they put Avid Fit period. I'll change the name. And they'll answer these questions. They'll hit submit. They just have to do it once, and they have to get 100% because, again, all the answers are here in the slides. Then they'll go into the next lesson, finish the do now. Um, and starting from this lesson, I created a video. So as you can see in this first slide, there's a video on how to actually complete it correctly. Once they complete it on Replit, again, they'll do the exit ticket. So where they actually do the coding and do the work, it's here on Replit. Your dashboard will look similar to this, except you won't have nearly as many classes. You'll simply have this fifth period. So when you open it up, it's aggregated into categorized into two different things. So in the assignments tab, you'll see all the assignments. When you see a number here, that's that somebody had turned something in and they need help or they need feedback. So basically for you to grade it. So you'll open up the assignment and you're looking to see if anything's in awaiting feedback. So as you can see here, there's awaiting resubmission. I sent these back. They were incorrect. This is marked complete because this was done correct and I hit mark complete on my end. So the way the grading works is you'll have it open. You'll see their code. This is incorrect. And then there'll be two buttons here to say send back or submit or mark complete. So let's see if I can see it on Jocelyn's. So as you can see, there's a send back button. So if there's an error, you can write some feedback here like fix so and so, and then send it back. But if it's done well, just hit mark complete. The student can move on to the next assignment and the next lesson. So this is where you'll be grading. If you want to see how much of the assignments the kids have done, you look at the student overview. It'll populate all the students and it'll be in order. So assignment 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can just look and know that, okay, this student still needs to complete assignment 2. This arrow means that you sent it back. And then the little clock, I don't see any clocks. That means they submitted it and they're just waiting for you to check their work. So for example, Emmanuel, for some reason he did assignment 3 and 4, but still hasn't got number 1 and 2 approved. So those are things that you want to check and make sure they do start with assignment 1 before moving on to any other assignments. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing, but again, assignments are here. This is where you'll do most of your grading. And then if you want to see how far the kids have done, you can go here. And if you want to just isolate a kid, say you're working with them one-on-one, when you click on their name, you'll see all of Isaiah's work. Right, so this is just for Isaiah. So it depends on how you want to do it. But again, I'll help you with some of the grading. So that's Replit. So where all the exemplars will live is within within my Replit. So if you find my name, Nessel Robert, I will have everything coded correctly. So you'll be able to open this up. Right now I haven't submitted anything, and you can just do a split screen and compare and say, this is correct, this is how it should look. So one student that has done everything correct so far has been Jared. So this is actually an exemplar of what the first assignment should look like. So what you're looking for, and I'll do a quick comparison. So we'll open up Jared's, and we'll open up Cameron's, and we'll do a quick comparison so you can actually see what I'm talking about. So in Jared's, we can see that it says doc type, HTML, that matches, this matches, but then things start getting a little tricky. For one thing, we start getting these extra gaps here that shouldn't be here. The second thing is that there's a thing called nesting, and everything that lives inside of a tag above it should be tabbed over one space. So this is correct. If I look at Cameron's, his actually is not on the correct line. Right? This title should be moved over a little bit. And then that's the main issue with this. He does have extra gaps in his code that he doesn't need. It should just look nice and compact like this. If it doesn't, that's okay. But the biggest thing I'm looking for is that the things are on the correct line. So this title needs to be tabbed over like it is here. So those little small things is a big part of coding to make sure they have correct stuff. So that's some of the basics. There's a lot more stuff I can get into, but again, I don't want to put too much info in this video. So if you have any questions, just email me. I'm available, and I'll continue to support you as best as I can.